Nicholas here as well, and my other computer finally turned on, so that's good news. We are starting a new book club, and our goals for the book club are the same as they were last time. We have those 4 C's in Douglas County that we really like to focus on, and that's communicating, collaborating, critical thinking, and then using creativity as well. So there's some differences with this particular round of book clubs, and probably the biggest difference you're going to notice is that I've made a book club site. And on that site, it has all of the jobs listed for you. It has the schedule listed for you, and it also has discussion questions. So it's all in one place now. It makes it a little bit easier. So, okay, so we are going to take a look at that site and just kind of do a little introduction to our book. All right, so I'm going to show you a couple different ways to get to the site. So if you're, at home or whatever later and you're just like, oh, I don't remember how to do this. Okay, if you go to your email, well, first of all, I sent you the email. So you have an email that looks something like this. Oops. And then you would just click on the site right down here. Or you, at the top of your Gmail account here, have all of these different words. And if you go to sites, it's been shared with you, so it will show up on your list. Now, I have a ton, so you're not going to see all of those. But when you scroll down, you'll find the book club site. So let me go ahead and do that. So in your own list, here it is. It says EDCSD Book Club. So that's what you'll click on. I want you to go ahead and do that now so that we're all on the site together. So I'm going to give everybody just a minute to do that.
What? What we did? What? Oh, that.
Okay, so when you have the site pulled up on your own, I know you can see it on my screen, but when you have it pulled up on your own screen, I want you to type something into the chat, like a happy face or a yes. Just so I know that you've all been able to pull it up. Okay, Jacob's on it. That's good. So we'll wait just a second for everyone else to pull it up on their own because they're going to need to know how to do this. Everyone's going to need to know how. We're all being shy today, too. Not a lot of webcams are on. But that's okay. Okay, so Joshua's on. That's perfect. And then wait for TJ and Nicholas to go ahead and get to the site. So I know you can see it on my screen, but I want you to be able to pull it up on your own.
TJ, I don't know how to do that. Get down here, TJ. Come here.
Okay, so TJ, it looks like, is on. And Nicholas, have you been able to pull up the site yet? Not sure about Nicholas, but hopefully he can hear me. I haven't been able to hear him yet today. Okay, so this is what it looks like. This is the home page or whatever. So our enduring understanding is that humans use strategy to construct meaning, okay? So we, in book clubs, use a lot of reading strategies. And as you remember, I'm sure from last semester, we talked a lot about making connections. We talked about summarizing and some other little reading strategies. And we're going to continue with those reading strategies this semester. So that's kind of what this means to you. And our world-class outcomes, this is what your goals are, basically. Okay, so this is what the goal for you in the book club is. So if you're ever kind of wondering, like, what's the purpose? Like, why am I doing this? These connect directly to your standards for 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. it's kind of funny. They don't change very much between grade levels. But these are things that you're required to do, and by the end of the year should be proficient in. So, delivering and evaluating organized, effective oral presentations for varied purposes and audiences using varied technological resources. Now, that's a mouthful, and really all it's saying is that you're able to orally present whatever type of assignment has been given to you. And then you are able to use a variety of technological resources. And I'm going to be giving you some more ideas on how to present, how to present your jobs in new and more exciting ways than just always using like a Microsoft Word document or something. Okay. Your second goal is to analyze and think critically about ideas expressed by others during collaborative discussions about the text and formulate thoughtful responses. So, really, again, that's a mouthful, but all it's really saying is that you are able to participate in discussions. You're able to respond to your teammates or classmates, and really just kind of pay attention to what everybody else is saying and presenting. Okay, and possibly thinking critically too also means maybe asking questions, of your classmates. Your third goal is to critically read and respond in writing to fiction and support your reasoning with evidence from the text. So this is more of the actual doing part, where you do your job and you do the reading and then you do whatever it is to respond in writing. So. Okay, so those are your goals. And then, here are just some questions that later on you can, kind of consider. All right, let's move on. Give me a thumbs up if you're with me so far. Hope I'm not going too fast, but I don't want to take too long on just the goals. Go ahead and type a yes or something into the chat. Okay, TJ's good. Thumbs up. All right. So here we go. Here is the little link for the book club jobs. So remember, well, you might might not remember. There was a lot of times last semester when I would get an email and say, I don't know how to do this job. Can you resend it to me? Can you, send that Google Doc to me again because I don't know what the job is. Well, this time I just posted them so they're there for you to go back and look at. So if you just click on it, you will find a description of every book club job in the subpages listed here below. So you're responsible for looking up your job weekly. So for instance, let's just say that you have been assigned the connector job and you're like, okay, I don't know what that is. So you'll come and you'll click on connector. And then what do you know? It brings it up. It brings up the entire description for you. So every week, you should be able to find what you're responsible for, whatever job it is. So again, that's under book club jobs. And then there along the bottom is the description of all of them. Okay, choice. This is kind of new. So let's click on choice. And I intend to add to this list quite a bit, but here are some resources. Remember how just a couple minutes ago I was talking about using a variety of technological resources? And here are just a couple that you can go to, if you want to do your job in a more interesting way. So I'm not going to take too much time right now. If we have time at the end of class, I'll go back to these and show you a little bit more. But they're really pretty easy to figure out, and they're fun. So it might be a different way for you to express your work every week. Okay, discussion questions. Yay! Now, you'll notice listed along the bottom, there are 3 different books, okay? And so, weekly, we're going to come to this little spot and we're going to do a discussion question. And we're going to do that in just a couple minutes. I'm going to keep going through the website, but we'll come back to this. And you don't need to have read anything from the book to do this particular discussion question. This question is kind of more of a introduction to the topic. So we'll come back to it. But weekly, this is a place where you're going to find questions. Okay. All right. Assessments. So we'll click on that. You will notice that there are no assessments yet. We haven't read any of the book yet, so there's nothing to test you on yet. But in the future, when there's like maybe a little quiz, maybe just of course, at the very end of the book, some kind of little project, this is where it will be found. Okay, here's the important one, schedules. Yay! The Bridge to Terabithia, that's the only one that you should be looking at because it pertains to you. So here we go. You will notice that I have the dates listed across the top. I have the time, obviously, Mondays at 8:30. And then you'll notice that there's a couple dates that are kind of funky. January and February have a lot of holidays that fall on Mondays. Martin Luther King Day, and then, of course, President's Day. So I just kind of switched around the schedule a little bit. Next week is normal. And then it kind of, okay, the week after it looks like, no, see, we had to skip a week here because of Martin Luther King. Then we go to a Thursday where we'll skip math instead since we had to skip reading the week before. I'm just trying to like balance it out basically. And so basically these dates are what you need to pay attention to. And of course, I'll remind you every week what is coming up in the future, okay? So this is where you will find your name. So let's just say Nicholas. Notice that today is the 7th and there were no jobs assigned because we're just introducing the book. But Nicholas, what is your very first job for next week? Your microphone's on. Go ahead.
Quotable quarter?
Are you following? No, see, the 14th. I have it highlighted for you.
The 14th. Oh, the word wizard.
Yes, so that's next week. You can see that that's just exactly a week away. So it should be pretty easy to find your name. Joshua looks like his first job is discussion director. It looks like TJ's first job is illustrator. So it's not going to change. It's all here for you. Okay, so now we'll go back to what I was talking about, the discussion questions. So everybody go ahead and get to this page on your own screen. Okay, and doesn't look like anybody has their cameras really on anymore. So I guess instead of a thumbs up, just type yes into the chat once you are here. Okay, Jacob's ready. Okay, Nicholas is ready, Josh is ready, and I bet TJ is not far behind. And he's ready. Okay, so now, first thing you're going to do is click on the Bridge to Terabithia. And this is kind of our introduction thinking type of question. And notice this is actually going to go to a Google Doc where I'm going to have all of these recorded so I can go back to them at any time. You're going to need to type in your name. And then here's your question. I'm going to give you at least 5 minutes. Think of a time when you were lonely. How did you cope with that feeling? Okay, so think of a time you were lonely. How did you cope with that feeling? I'm going to let you go ahead and start typing. hope, let's see, I'll respond to you privately. Hold on. Okay. How many people need more time? Okay. If you need more time, go ahead and type yes into the chat or type no. More time. Okay. Sounds good. All right, TJ's done. That's fine. TJ, you can just kind of hang out and um, maybe you can share some of your experiences in the chat and get other people thinking if you want to. All right, guys. So let's just pause for a second. Don't close this. You're gonna have as much time as you need here in a couple of minutes to finish it. Okay, so don't rush. Just leave it. And okay, so TJ wanted to share maybe an experience that he had, and maybe somebody else can relate to it. He said his brother was in the hospital for a long time, and his mom was with him, so he was sad. And it's basically, his mom was away, his brother was away, and so that was a time when TJ felt lonely. Okay, so go ahead and just keep that open on your own screen, but I'm going to go back to our agenda and just kind of recap what we've done. We went over, of course, your world-class outcomes, which is the goal, and your enduring understanding. I gave you a couple new ideas for showing your understanding, so new ideas on how to present your work. We kind of just went through the website together and we went through the schedule. So we hopefully you have taken a little bit of time to look at your schedule and how to find what job has been assigned to you. We are in the process of finishing up that thinking question that we started, and you guys will have a couple more minutes here to finish that up. And I just wanted to make sure that we have our assignment for next week. And I also wanted to read you a little summary to kind of, I'm going to have to delete certain parts so I don't give the book away. But okay, so first things first, let me go ahead and tell you how much you're going to be reading. Let's see, you're going to be reading chapters, hold on just 1 second. You only have 2 chapters. Okay, so here is our little kind of introduction to the book. Jess Aarons wanted to be the fastest runner at Lark Creek Elementary. He practiced all summer for his goal. But when school began in September and all the boys lined up to race, Leslie Burke became the new champion. She not only broke the race records, but the rules. Girls had never been allowed to race with the boys. Because now the race could be won by a girl, all of the rest of the boys lost interest in racing, and Jess no longer had a chance at the goal he had worked so hard to attain. But he did find a friend that day, and it was Leslie. Jess and Leslie had a very special friendship. With Leslie's expert guidance, they created a secret fantasy world called Terabithia, a world where there's a king and a queen, and nothing could daunt them. Daunt is make them sad, basically. The magic they created in Terabithia gave them an imagination and compassion that touched their lives and reached far beyond the castle walls. Okay, so that's kind of where I'm going to stop the summary because I don't want to give too much of it away. And let me go ahead and let's see, Jacob. Let's see. So yeah, Jacob, you're going to be finishing that question back on the site. I hope that answers your question. So that's kind of where we're going to leave off for today. This was really your only assignment. Oh, goodness. Sorry, it took so long to get there. This was really your only assignment that you have for today. And then you have 2 chapters to read. And now remember, every day you're required, or you should be reading at least 30 minutes a day. And you can use this book for your dear time reading. Okay, so just kind of keep that in mind, that you don't have to have 15 different books to do it. So, okay, so this is what you are going to be finishing up on. And then make sure that you know where your schedule is. Okay. And make sure that you know what job you're going to be doing for next week. You're going to be presenting. So it looks like TJ will be presenting an illustration. Josh will be our discussion director. Nicholas will be our word wizard. Autumn will be here next week and she'll be the quotable quoter. And Jacob, you will be the connector. And this is all for next week, chapters 1 through 2. So nobody has their webcams on, so go ahead and type into the chat a yes if you understand and that all makes sense for you. Okay, Nicholas says yes. Good. TJ, yes, good. Okay. All right. Josh, does that make sense? Jacob, does that make sense? He's good. All right. Just waiting on Josh. Want to make sure.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. So this is all that you have to do today is just make sure you finish your discussion question. And we will take a little bit of time next week to actually share some of these, or I'll share them for you. So don't stress out too much. But that's it for today. So you guys have a fantastic Monday, and don't forget to read chapters 1 through 2 and do your job for next week. Okay?
I thought this VC was supposed to be an hour long.
The book clubs really are about 45 minutes. And today we don't have anything to share. There's no jobs or anything, and we haven't read any of the books. So really the purpose of today was to just make sure everybody was really comfortable with the site, and they knew where to go, and they knew what the schedule was. So today is definitely a little bit shorter.
Mhm. Well, it's a good thing you didn't assign me to the Watsons Go to Birmingham because I've read that 6 times.
Oh, well, good thing. All right. It's a good book though, but I'll try to remember that. All right, guys. You guys have a nice day, okay? Everyone say bye.
Bye.
Bye. Don't forget to start your new assignments, your new work.
Yeah, definitely
Okay.
not.
All right. Bye.
Bye bye.